everyone. This is Reet. I'm a PhD student in Hyderabad University, and today we are talking about HCU and JNU in dialogue with each other. What I mean is, some of you have been asking me to make some comparative sort of video on HCU and JNU. I'm here, but it is not necessarily a comparison sort of video because I don't know if I qualify enough to compare them or not. But yeah, just my experiences talking and you'll get an idea of what things at JNU and HU looks like, at least from my own perspective, which is limited again. Okay, let's get ahead with it. So I think I already said it that some places it can might like appear to be subjective. So, but I'll try to be as objective as possible. Okay. Okay. So I have chosen like 3 4 parameters on which I am talking about both HCU and JNU. JNU, that is Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi. HCU, University of Hyderabad. I always call it HCU, University of Hyderabad, right? UoH. Okay, so both of them, UoH and Hyderabad. Okay, so the first criteria will be area and space. Second would be weather. Third would be hostel fees, mess, food, all of the fees in HC and JNU. Then academics, which is the most important one, right? And then kind of lifestyle and social life. And yeah, I think this is pretty enough to compare both of them. And in general, what is my opinion on both of them? Um, yeah. So the first So the first thing is area, geographical area, and what is the space like. So you should know that HCU is comparatively like at least twice the size of JNU, and the space is very scattered. I mean, hostels are very scattered in HCU. That means if one hostel is here, it's far because it's big. It's a wild campus. Let me tell you, and it has 2 3 sections like north campus, south campus, divide, east campus, though not very far from each other, but north and south are far from each other. So it's like space wise it's very scattered. It's a big campus, it's a wild campus. HCU and JNU on the other hand is comparatively like smaller, but it is big obviously, but the locations like hostels are clubbed together. So so what I mean by this is that the discussions, the space, the engagement comparatively shifts, because as I said, in HCO, it's all scattered. You wouldn't be able to see people very often, but in Jane, you'll see 10 people every day whom you know. So that way, it is more engaging and it's more active in that it will feel lively, but sometimes in HCU life is like it's lifeless. At least it feels. Pardon me saying that because it's again my subjective point. Because I come from a certain region, certain university, I had a different experience, so it might be different. And also, I'm a PhD, no, so that way also it could be different. Yeah, so it's lively, and one is like little kind of deserted sometimes. Yeah, so that is there, and with it comes lot of yeah, again in JNU, you will find so many dhabas that are active 24/7, and there are spaces of engagement. People gather together, so there's more again engagement and discussion. Uh, yeah, I think uh, yeah, I think I on this point what else I have to say. Yeah, so I think I already mentioned those hostels are closer to each other, so they are people are more accessible to each other. In JNU, in HCU, people are not that much accessible. As in, accessible they are, but in terms of space, they are not like comparatively less accessible. Good for people like us. I mean, like me, maybe slowly turning into an introvert. So it's good for introverts because you won't see people around. So that is a good thing in HCU. Okay, coming back to the next point, weather. Okay, so weather in HCU is really, really good, at least for North Indians, because we have, if you're in Delhi, if you have lived in Delhi, if you have been in Delhi and other North Indian regions, uh, so you will know that extreme temperature, extreme winters, extreme summers. But in Hyderabad, weather is really fine. I really like the weather here. So I had friends in JNU, like South Indian friends, and they were like they could not live. It was so cold. It was terrible for them. So weather-wise, HU is fine. I mean, it's pretty good. People say uh, people from here say that North Indians don't feel like don't consider winter here as winter because we are used to harsh winters, no? So that way, again, not generalizing on North or South India. I'm not taking it as a homogeneous category. I do understand it, but yeah. So again, so winter weather wise, HU is doing really good. JNU में बहुत ज़्यादा ठंडी पड़ती है, बहुत बहुत गर्मी रहती है, पागलों जैसी गर्मी रहती है जस्ट. And also, for people who want to do field work and all in Delhi, please don't go during summers or even harsh winters. Choose somewhere like February, March, April. उसके बाद मई भी चलेगा, but जून जुलाई इवन मई बहुत गर्मी पड़ती है. Just a side information. Okay, so the next point, I think I should rush because I'm already taking it long. Yeah, so the next point that I want to mention, the most important is academics, and that's where I think I shouldn't be the one comparing. But then, yeah, this is again first is I should and you should also keep in mind that I'm doing PhD in HCU, and I did my masters in JNU. These are two different phases of academics, and uh, like I cannot judge on the basis of that. But yes, again, this is also what I've heard from people is that MMA, let's say English department, has so many term papers and like good for research, right? You are like you are aware about different aspects of research papers, and at least in a basic level, uh, in masters only. I'm not very sure about other departments. So I think comparatively JNU has a rigorous kind of I don't know, in masters they have term papers and all. Could be. Again, it also depends department wise. Remember that it depends on, some departments are good in JNU, some departments are much better in HCU. So it's like department wise also. And if you're looking for uh, something, looking for a subject to do in PhD, remember that it's not only the institution, it's the professor, it's the center which is good, and also see these aspects also, because some centers are really good at some places. And suppose you want to work on this area, and that supervisor, that professor who has worked in the area would be the best for you, right? So consider these points while you are applying for PhD. So yeah, the academics wise, I think again, I'm saying it again and again, it might come at subjective, but I think academic rigor is at least master's level में अगर कह ले तो more in JNU compared to HCU. And also, like I think this is again repetitive, but classroom learning is like extended to the campus learning. Like you will have a lot of informal learning spaces in JNU, academic discussions. Here also you'll have a lot of academic discussions. You'll have conferences, you'll have seminars in both the places, JNU and HU. But what I meant is, as these spaces are like many, there are many spaces where people gather, people talk and all. So it's comparatively enriching in case of informal learning, because classroom learning is different, and it's classroom learning is everywhere, right? But that in that outside the class learning, भाई मैं इंग्लिश नहीं बोल पा रही अच्छे से, sorry. Yeah, so informal learning uh, is like better in JNU. There are more discussions, there are more engagement, so that way it's there. um what else? Professors, if I talk about professors, are good in both the universities, I feel, compared to like both has good good professors who have worked on quite a lot of areas, and knowledgeable one. So yeah, I think compared they are both good. um Fees. Okay, so coming back to fees, many of you would want to know about fees structure, about hostels, about food, so and mess fees and hostel fees. So HU may fees is less than JNU. Coming to the mess fee कम होता है. Here it's for girls hostel, at least it's 2500 most at max mostly, but it can shift, it can fluctuate also. So 2500 कभी 2600 भी कभी थोड़ा और महंगा जा सकता है. JNU में अगर तुम एवरेज ले लो, इट अगेन डिपेंड्स ऑन हॉस्टल वाइज. रिमेंबर दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन हॉस्टल वाइज, गर्ल्स हॉस्टल बॉयज हॉस्टल, सो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन हॉस्टल वाइज. अगर बॉयज हॉस्टल की बात करें तो ज़्यादा लगता है, एंड देन गर्ल्स हॉस्टल में कम लगता है. इवन इन JNU देर आर डिफरेंट हॉस्टल जिसमें 2700 3000 ऐसा मैक्सिमम लगता है, बट किसी किसी हॉस्टल में 5000 तक भी पहुंच जाता है. So again depends on which hostel you're staying and whether you're a male or female. I mean, again, hostel wise depend करता है. फूड, नो, हाँ, ये मैंने हॉस्टल मेस का फीस बताया. हॉस्टल का फीस एटलीस्ट फॉर अ मास्टर स्टूडेंट यहाँ पे नहीं लगता है. आई आई एम नॉट वेरी श्योर हॉस्टल फीस कितना लगता है. ठीक है, JNU में, JNU में हॉस्टल फीस जैसा कुछ नहीं लगता. 6 महीने में आपको 1100 जैसा देना होता है. तो बेड के लिए चार्जेस, बेड चार्जेस ये होते हैं. सेमेस्टर फीस यहाँ ज़्यादा लगता है, HCU में ज़्यादा लगता है कंपेयर टू JNU. HCU अराउंड सेमेस्टर रजिस्ट्रेशन फीस दे टेक अराउंड 4000. इन JNU इट्स 200 रुपीज, 198 ऐसा करके. सो या दैट इज देयर. व्हाट एल्स रिगार्डिंग फीस, एक्स्ट्रा चार्जेस तुम्हारे, तुम जितना स्पेंड करते हो वो तो तुम पे डिपेंड करता है. HCU is comparatively no. Hyderabad in general is expensive. Remember that. Outside is expensive. Inside it's cheaper only. But there are less eateries, less. अभी तो फिर भी खुल रहे हैं. आई थिंक, आई होप द सिचुएशन इम्प्रूव्स. बट या comparatively less eateries. वहाँ JNU में more accessible to eateries, and outside world is more accessible. Here also it's, I think it's accessible. It's far, but then it's accessible. But yeah, उधर in JNU आपके ऑटो वॉटो चलते हैं ना अंदर कैंपस के, इधर नहीं चलते हैं. ओके, यू हैव टू बुक रैपिडो एवरी टाइम, बट देयर आर बसेस. JNU में भी बसेस चलते हैं, गवर्नमेंट बसेस. हियर ऑल्सो बसेस रन स्पेसिफिकली फॉर HCU. मैं HCU और JNU में कंफ्यूज तो नहीं खा रही हूँ. ओके, ओके, या जो बसेस वगैरह हैं. I was talking about the expenses, no? So Hyderabad in general, a city is very expensive. आपको भाड़े के चार्जेस अराउंड, अगर थोड़े दूर जाना है तो 500 रुपये लग जाएंगे. तो इन जनरल दिस द यूनिवर्सिटी इज नॉट एक्सपेंसिव, बट देन इट्स द आउटसाइड वर्ल्ड, आउटसाइड यूनिवर्सिटी इट्स एक्सपेंसिव because it's a high tech city, so it's expensive. Yeah, so that is there. In JNU also, matlab Delhi is in general is expensive only. Matlab rent is expensive. You live outside, you have to pay rent. Here also it's expensive. So expenses wise तो ठीक है. Outside the campus life it's expensive. Hostel fees, I told you that HCU का मुझे खास पता नहीं है कितना हॉस्टल चार्जेस लगते हैं. JNU का आई नो इट्स 1100 पर सेमेस्टर, एंड प्लस शुरू में आपके कुछ पैसे दे लगेंगे, बट देन एन हॉस्टल मेस का फूड का अलग देयर इज अराउंड 3000 3500, कभी 4000, कभी लड़कों का 5000 भी चला जाता है. सो आई रिमेंबर, आई थिंक आई रिपीटेड दिस इन सम वीडियो, व्हेन आई लेफ्ट 5400 was the mess bill for a month that I paid. So yeah, it shifts, it just fluctuates. I don't know what happens, some corruption also thing is there. Okay, yeah, so that is about hostel and mess ka khana. But coming to food now, people in from North India don't like idhar ka khana. Even I think South Indians also don't like much of the time. But yeah, North Indians specifically talking, they don't like the food here. I am exception. I mean, I don't like it, but I don't hate it. That is also there. Roti is a problem because they don't make good rotis. So that is there because as a North Indian, we are habituated. Again, not all of North India habituated to eating rotis, no. So here roti, you don't get roti उतना ज़्यादा, and चावल बहुत खाते हैं लोग यहाँ पे. Consumption of rice is more, so that way it's there. But हाँ, people here don't like मेस का खाना. मेस का खाना कहाँ किसी को पसंद आता है, कहाँ, मतलब पूरे इंडिया में किसी को पसंद आया है? मतलब होते होंगे अच्छे अच्छे हॉस्टल्स में, आई डोंट नो, बट या सो people from North India at least don't like it. Even South Indians also, मतलब I think for me it works fine. I think my taste buds have adjusted to it. But in JNU मुझे खाना अच्छा लगता था, मतलब सही लगता था. Even in general it's good food. although I remember people from BHU always comparing JNU का खाना कि JNU में क्या ही खाना देते, BHU में इतना अच्छा देते थे. Although I have never been like in hostel inside the campus in BHU, so मुझे नहीं पता. Okay, so that is there. Mess ka khana in both the places is fairly good only. People from different region may like it, may not like it. Depends again their own experiences with food so far. So that also depends. हॉस्टल की कंडीशन दोनों ही जगह खराब है. ओके, दोनों ही जगह खराब है हॉस्टल की कंडीशन. दोनों ही जगह नए नए हॉस्टल्स बन रहे हैं. सो एंड अगेन बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स डिपेंडिंग. माई ये LH4 जहाँ मैं रहती हूँ, इट्स कंपेरेटिवली फाइन ओनली. बट या यू विल हैव टू थोड़ा सा एडजस्ट. ये भी चीज़ है इफ़ यू वांट टू स्टे इन हॉस्टल. या सो दोनों ही जगह ऑलमोस्ट JNU की हॉस्टल्स भी गिर रहे हैं भाई. मतलब हालत ख़राब है उनकी. कुछ कुछ हॉस्टल्स की, कुछ कुछ नए बन रहे हैं. इधर भी हॉस्टल्स कुछ कुछ बहुत ख़राब हालत है. बट बन रहे हैं नए नए हॉस्टल्स. तो that way I can yeah, some hostels are better in condition than the other hostel. Coming back to lifestyle and social life, I think that would again be more repetitive, because I said no that Hyderabad is a high tech city. So if you have an outside life, you'll corporate life is more accessible, as in you'll have friends from corporate life. Hyderabad life, at least outside the campus, is more exciting. This is what I feel. Again, limited perception of mine, but I think it's exciting in a way that bahar ka city is much more charming than inside the city, because inside it's mostly deserted, mostly, and I think it's not well lit. HU well lit, as in some areas तुम एकदम अंधेरा लगेगा, तुमको ऐसा लगेगा कि क्या ही आ गए हैं. Okay, an instance, so Domino's इधर um, ये नहीं करता, सर्विस प्रोवाइड नहीं करता. ओके, सो इट्स ऑल्सो मतलब, सो एंड दीज पीपल हु आर टेक ऑर्डर्स एंड ऑल, नो, हु जोमेटो एंड स्विगी में जो आते हैं, दे कंप्लेन कि मैडम कहाँ आ गए हैं हम, ये कौन सी जगह है, इतना अंधेरा है. So that is also there. Okay, lifestyle, yeah, but it's nice in some ways because you like, but it's safe. Okay, Hyderabad is safe. I did not talk about safety, it's Hyderabad is really safe. City is safe. Campus is safe. JNU campus is safe. बाहर का तो तुमको पता ही होगा. Delhi is not safe. Okay. Yeah, and what else I had to talk? हाँ, JNU में social life is, night life is more exciting. I think उनका inner campus life is more exciting than outside life. Outside तो लोग जाते भी नहीं होंगे मुझे लगता है. So it's more जाते होंगे obviously. मैं again, generalization is not something that I am actively like not saying it actively. Okay, yeah, so I was saying that JNU के अंदर की लाइफ ही बहुत चार्मिंग है. नाइट लाइफ, पीपल आर एक्टिव, लाइक कैंपस इज एक्टिव 24/7. यहाँ पे कैंपस इज नॉट एक्टिव 24/7. मुझे पता ही नहीं चलता, लोग दिखते ही नहीं है मुझे. ओके, तो ये भी है. अगेन इट डिपेंड्स ऑन कैंपस वाइज ऑल्सो. नॉर्थ कैंपस इज कंपैरेटिवली डेजर्टेड देन साउथ कैंपस. तो ये भी चीज़ है कि डिपेंड करता है. बट आई रियली लाइक द सॉलिट्यूड हियर. Okay, so that is there. You will make more people are more accessible in JNU than HU. Okay, because there are spaces again, there are harbors again, so ये सारी चीजें हैं. But Hyderabad as a city is very safe. uh, Expensive तो है ही, but outside life is more charming, I guess. Yeah, and one, yeah, I think language, people from North India, most of the people don't come to South India or let's say Hyderabad. It's also because of the language. They think that people don't know here Hindi. People in Telangana know Hindi. Okay, they can communicate to you in Hindi, so it's not a problem here, at least in campus, so people know it. It is not a problem. In JNU campus you will also not find a problem because people fairly in campus can speak English, but outside the world, outside outside the campus, you will see people who, मतलब सारे को इंग्लिश नहीं आती है. तो सपोज साउथ इंडिया, साउथ क्या बोल रही हूँ, साउथ इंडियन कम्स टू नॉर्थ इंडिया, दे माइट फेस प्रॉब्लम आउटसाइड बिकॉज नॉट एवरी वन नोज इंग्लिश. तो ये हो सकता है. ठीक है, और क्या बोलना था मुझे? आई थिंक if you want to know anything else, do let me know. And again, I think it's again more being more repetitive, that it's my subjective opinion. And yeah, thank you so much. If you have watched till here, मैंने बहुत सारी गलतियां की हैं, मैं edit नहीं कर रही. Bye. To add this in masters in HCU. This is what I've heard, that they have a strict attendance system in HCU, and it's very much like you have to attend classes, and also it's very rigorous in that sense. Ki you it's so much into teaching, and I think it's more into teaching than research. Could be. This could be the idea that you. I am not very sure whether attendance is mandatory for all the departments in JNU or not, because as far as I remember, our department didn't have, at least English department didn't have attendance sort of thing. But yeah, some centers might have, who knows. So, and in HCU, attendance is mandatory for masters people, okay? So you'll have to attend classes, and also that is also one of the things. I think they focus so much on classrooms, and again, my limited, because I'm not from here. So I know that classroom attendance is mandatory. You have to attend classes and all. So that is there. Yeah.